Okay, another day and we're still in Lucknow. We're going to give the residency a second try. We got rained out first time. Really want to get in there. It's a very historically significant place here in Lucknow where the British took refuge. I think it was 1857. At one point there was an uprising. I believe it was because the young British commander instructed the soldiers to use pig grease on their rifles. And of course, that wasn't too cool with the Muslim community. So it sparked an uprising. Everybody joined in. And if it wasn't for some reinforcements, then the British never would have made it out. Saj, do you know? Hello, namaskar. Aap kaise hai? Navigate the wires, watch your head. And there she is. This is the British Residency in Lucknow. Once it served as the nerve center of British power in AWOL. There were offices and homes and gardens, even a ballroom. In 1857, it became something else entirely, a fortress under siege. For months, British families, soldiers, and Indian allies were trapped here, surrounded, starving, and under constant fire. When the smoke finally cleared, the residency was left in ruins. And the British never rebuilt it. They kept it this way as a reminder of how close history came to turning out very differently. Now, anytime I've seen somebody in a brown uniform, they've hassled me about the camera, so I'm going to put it away while we go through and see if I can pull it out after. Oh my God, check out these wires. Good thing my limbo skills are excellent. Sub? Wonder how long these buses have been in service. Looks like they could use a rest. Yeah, I have a 5-spot. Let me. Okay, so Bally Guard Gate. This entrance was constructed by the Nawab in honor of Captain John Bally, who became the resident of Lucknow beginning in the 19th century. So that's this thing here, yeah? This is Bally Gate, one of the main entrances to the British Residency in Lucknow. In 1857, this gate became a front line. Rebel forces pushed towards it again and again while defenders fired from behind these walls. What looks quiet now was once chaos, smoke, shouting, and constant
fear. Attacks from the revolutionaries, it was badly damaged. All that is left now is this gate. It was conserved in recent years.
Wow.
They restored some of it.
1857, I was right on the money. Look how beautiful. Look at how thin and old these bricks are, huh? Incredible.
Look at the charred remains.
Wow, amazing. And these bricks, like thin little...
restored now. A lot of it is restored.
Yeah, down here. But that must be original, right?
Yeah. Slate stone.
Wow.
But they said, burn the motherfucker to the ground. Burn it to the ground. My friend has an English resident house and has a well in there.
Really?
And the Britishers jumped in.
No, really? Wow.
This was a whole ecosystem where they had hospitals, play stations,
schools,
nurseries, schools, baths.
Wow.
So it must have been 10 times the size.
I would think. I'm out. I can't believe how big it is, compared to the pictures I've seen. So it's basically like this 2 British people showed up at the Adwa court, right? And then they kind of expanded from there. Sort of as observers, I should think, in the beginning. Oh, this...
well-planned sewage system.
Wow.
We still have to learn from.
Do you think this street was here, or this is for tourists? I mean, not tourists, but you know what I mean.
This is the Treasury building.
Wow.
We collect all the taxes.
This was the treasury of the British Residency. Behind these walls were coins, records, supplies, all the stuff that kept the compound alive. During the siege of 1857, it became a target and a lifeline. When the fighting ended, the building stood empty. The wealth was gone, but the history remained. Strolling around these amazing ruins really made me wonder what life would have been like for me had I been alive back in the day, though as somebody who believes in reincarnation, I guess it's hard to say which side of the coin I would have been on.
Wow. From who? From the...
Local natives.
Oh. Mind if I poke around a sec? Atkins Post. Let's have a look at this. Old Atkin never thought he'd die so far from home. Colonel Robert Atkin. I wonder if I can walk on here, or I don't. Why mess with the grass? When I'm abroad, I like to be doubly law-abiding. Bengal Staff Corps, and formerly of the 13th Regiment Bengal Infantry. Very cool.
You can look at the markings of the shell.
Oh yes, these are all the shells that came in, right? They got bombarded. Still standing, but a little pocked.
So there are no roofs anywhere.
Those are the first to go, right?
And now you see our school fort.
The school fort.
During the siege of Lucknow in 1857, some of the Residency's defenders weren't soldiers at all. They were students from La Martiniere College, teenagers trained just enough to hold a rifle. They took positions along the walls and fired when ordered. History remembers generals, but here, the boys helped hold the line.
Oh, yes.
From my school, took
Yeah.
a battalion of kids.
Oh,
And
right.
the
And that was
Indians,
here.
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was right by the school or something.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, amazing. All the lives that have been through here. Pretty incredible. The remains of the column. Wow, touching history. Amazing.
I try to imagine what this place sounded like when it was alive. Not the silence it holds now, but footsteps, leather soles on stone, the low murmur of voices kept deliberately calm, keys turning in heavy locks, the soft clink of metal, coins, perhaps counted not once but twice. The air would have felt different, thicker, warmer, heavy with the dust and ink and sweat, papers stacked high absorbing the heat of the day. Somewhere nearby, the faint smell of oil lamps mingling with damp limestone and oilwood. This was not a place for comfort, this was a place for control. I imagine light slipping through the narrow openings and catching on ledgers and uniforms, casting sharp lines across the floor. Outside, heat, insects, distant calls. Inside, order, restraint, and the constant awareness of what was being protected. Time must have moved slowly here, every sound amplified, every pause intentional. Standing here now, you feel the weight of it. Not just the stone, but the decisions made within these walls. Decisions that rippled far beyond this courtyard, far beyond this city. Today, the building gives nothing away easily, but if you listen closely, past the birds, past the wind, you can almost hear it breathing.
Fairer's house. I'm sure we all remember him. Look how thin and worn the bricks are. Okay, so who was Dr. Fairer?
He ran the hospital, the bath, and it was a cooling place.
Oh, wow. Those were the days before painkillers. That must have been fun. Yeah, it's
must have been amazing.
extraordinary.
This was Dr. Freirer's house. Imagine the smell first. Medicine, sweat, smoke, lime-washed walls trying and failing to keep the heat out. Inside, hushed voices, bandages soaked and re-soaked, the scrape of metal instruments laid out carefully on a table, This wasn't just a home, this was a place where science met survival. Standing here now, the walls feel calm, but they once held pain, urgency, and the quiet determination to keep people alive in the middle of chaos.
You can still see a bit of the rosettes over there. Wow.
Look at the cannon fire.
Oh, that was a big one. Ouch.
Yeah, but where did the Indians bring all the cannons from? The revolution was just fighting by hands and sticks.
Wasn't there a big gate around the whole thing? Or no?
I don't know from where they...
Oh, yeah.
Reinforcements.
Huh. That's a good question.
This must have been a train.
Wow.
Very beautiful.
Holy cow. Living the good life, huh? Oh, right, and that must have been for the fire over there.
This pool wasn't decorative. It helped cool the house, it lowered temperatures in the surrounding rooms, and stored water during shortages. In emergencies, it could be used for washing wounds or cleaning instruments, or simply keeping people functioning in the extreme heat. In a siege, even water becomes a strategy.
Wow, look at this column. Oof, be careful. No guardrails. Could mess yourself up. As if the insurgency had gotten to you. What's the proper word for a white guy to call the 1857 event? Insurgency, uprising, rebellion. Want to be respectful. Wow, this is a nice column. And of course, here's where the great Sushi carved his name into the residency. Poke in this last room.
Walking around Dr. Fair's house, it changes how you move. The space pulls you inward, the thick walls mute the outside world, and suddenly you're aware of your own footsteps, your own breathing. You start to feel the pressure this place once carried. Urgency, restraint, responsibility. It wasn't built to impress, it was built to endure.
I really can't get my head around how big this thing was. You know, you look at things in history books and they look like little pictures and tiny little, maybe 3 buildings, but this is a giant community. It's a whole society. They had everything. They had doctors. They had lawyers, probably. They had pools. Obviously, we just saw one there. And schools and all this good stuff. Social clubs. Quite the life if you can make it. They say about half the Britishers died once they arrived here from disease or, you know, some sort of malaria or something along those lines. And the other half that made it were able to leech off society and live the good life. Quite a gamble, but the stakes were high. Here you can see the amazing Adwa style of the Nawabs of this region. Beautiful, ornate structures, domes and flourishes. Truly, truly amazing. I mean, look at those columns over there, right? Look at those. And then these domes. This is the only building in the residency that is in this style. Let's go have a look. Hello, squirrel. Kind of a squirrel chipmunk hybrid. My God, how surreal. You're sitting looking at this great history in India and then a couple of parrots go flying by. Pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. Oh my God, to see this in its heyday, really something amazing. I wonder what this was, something to attach something to the wall maybe, or ventilation?
The Begum lived here.
Oh yeah,
And the stepsister.
the Begums. So the Begums were the wives of the Nawabs.
Yeah.
There's just something so amazing just walking through these lawns and gardens, you know, so much history. Your mind goes crazy imagining all the lives and things that happened here. The ups, the downs. Amazing, amazing. These sort of arches with the tiny little spires or tiny little ends are very common of Adwa architecture. And then you see the beautiful flourishes and the beautiful, I'm not sure what these things are called on the side here. They sort of look like leaves, but you can see the actual leaf reliefs there, which are very, very reminiscent of the Bada Imambara, which we saw yesterday. And you should definitely go check that video out. Not sure if that's just put out for the birds or it was to wash your hands back in the days of the Raj or what, but I'm not going to touch it. Wow, look at this thing over here. I guess this was also part of the mosque based on the architecture. Oh, we got a little circle in the middle here. I'm imagining this must have been a well. Oh, these were stables?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah, so maybe the horses drank out of here, or...
While we were walking around, we encountered a British couple. He was dressed as most people would imagine I should dress as an accountant, and she was dressed in local garb.
We tried some Audi food last night.
Some Audi
But
food.
we were,
Where did you go?
Audi, that's the original pronunciation.
Saraka.
Saraka, the one
And there's a restaurant there, it's called
Labua.
Kaz.
Yeah, excellent
I can't
place.
remember. Yeah.
Very nice.
Any other recommendations?
There and it's not 5 stars, so
No, we're used to
it's Aminabad. Aminabad,
Yeah,
best
Aminabad.
tunde kebab. That's the rocking place.
Yeah.
Last night we went to the Curry Leaf. It's a chain, but if you like
Actually,
dosa, it's
we
excellent.
saw the curry, yeah.
That's
Worth a
South
try.
Indian.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't recommend South Indian.
Not up here anyway, right?
We
See-
went to Kerala last year.
Oh, lovely. That's the next stop for me.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I prefer the North Indian food.
I
Because
do.
grew up
I
here.
do.
Little bias,
I
these
do.
two, huh? You think?
My wife is South Indian, so we always have
Uh-oh. Cats and dogs.
South Indian food. And I,
Yeah. One more samosa.
okay.
So long, guys. Have a great day.
Enjoy.
He's too dressed out. I mean, he's
No kidding.
fucking Britishers. I have to dress up to go to a park.
Yeah, right? Got the full shirt on.
Thing. Yeah.
Sort of the opposite of the Americans.
Dress down, but dress up.
Chris, look at me. I'm a slob, no? Yes, must be.
Even the Russians in Russia, even to go to the mall, they're to their very best. Everyone has their nails, their hair, their makeup.
It was really an honor to be called a Begum, I believe. It was an honorary title of the Muslim ladies, of the wives of the Nawabs. So you can imagine if the Begums were held up in here, it must have been pretty nice back in the day as well, because it wasn't just, you know, any lady off the avenue. It was the royalty. Wow, look how delicate these flowers are. Beautiful. Kind of got a thing for gardening back home, so to see such exotic plants is pretty cool. Now, of the modern buildings that remain or have been constructed since the days of the Nawabs, this is probably the most important, because this is a bathroom. And when you're over 50, every 15 minutes is a bathroom run. All right, see you guys afterwards. Here we have the banquet hall, which, as you can imagine, if you were that half of the Britisher population that made it, you'd want to have a place to party with your other survivors. So this was the place.
The building.
The building. This is the center of it all, really, right? Yeah.
Elaborate.
Yeah. You had to have a banquet hall if you're imperialist.
Take a moment. It's pretty cool.
So this structure was constructed by Sadat Ali Khan. He was a Nawab, and it was meant to honor him. It's probably the most imposing structure in the whole area. It's got grand apartments and spacious saloons. It's furnished with costly chandeliers, or was it one day. There was mirrors and silk, and it was used for banquets, and there's beautiful furniture in here, I'm sure, and even a stucco fireplace with a marble relief that still remains today. Let's go see if we can find that. Ouch, hope that wasn't a cannon. Nope. So I guess this would be sort of the entrance, the parlor. You'd come in here, maybe wait a little bit, and then come into the main banquet, which probably would have been somewhere around here. I'm assuming there were 2 floors at one point, but the wood must have eroded and rotted since then.
Marble flooring, marble walls everywhere.
Silk.
So when just like in Rome in the Colosseum, right, all the marble was stolen to make
Sure.
other buildings and
Right,
stuff.
pilfered
Sydney-
over the years.
So people came and pilfered everything
Yeah.
out to build their own homes. But there was one marble fountain that got covered with debris, never got noticed. And then it's all made with inlay work, so there's nothing really to
Where's
steal.
that? Let's go see.
So
You found it.
So that's the, but
Mind
it's
your
not a
head.
piece of marble that you can remove because it's inlay work. So
Oh,
each one is
right.
a small piece.
Ah,
Probably
it
not
could
worth-
destroy the whole thing, right?
So they've been recovered. The only remaining piece
Oh, look at this. Oh my God, just a taste of the grandeur.
from 1800.
Look at this. Oh my God, so beautiful. Wow. Incredible. I mean, look at that hand carving, right? And that beautiful marble. I'm surprised they didn't just break it off and carry it away, to
Well,
tell you
there's
the
nothing
truth.
maybe that, right? But
Yeah.
it was probably covered.
Yeah.
But the bottom is just inlay work.
Wow. Incredible. Iron bracing, that's good.
Imagine a grand hotel entrance.
Oh my God.
Imagine being entertained here, oil lamps flickering against the walls, the low rhythm of music echoing through the hall, spices in the air, sweet and smoky and unfamiliar, clinging to the silk and stone. This wasn't just dinner. It was performance, it was power, and it was hospitality, all at once.
Oh, I'm sure, right? Beautiful portraits and such.
On the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
So here we can see the storm drains. I mean, talk about an ornate, well-engineered structure, right? I'm sure the floods would come through during monsoons, and this would channel the water right down the hill and away from the residency. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing.
They carried monsoon water away from the buildings. They kept foundations dry and the courtyards usable. Quiet, practical engineering designed for a climate that never asked permission.
And again, I love to tell this story that it was a bold young Irishman who snuck out of the residency dressed as locals to go and get reinforcements for the British. You know, those English are always leaning on us Irish. Shameful. Just joking. It's all good now. Everything's forgiven. All right, let's move on.
सही है दोनों साइड
बाहर के साइड होना
Praise the Lord.
This place burned down. The British still rule this place for another 100 years.
This place, you mean after the residency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still rule.
After the uprising, or
Yeah, they still rule. They didn't leave till 1947.
freedom movement? Yeah. Oh, that's right. That was the independence year, right?
And boy,
They were just expanding at that point, actually, right? That was the first rebellion.
yeah, they clamped down like that, like nobody's business.
Oh,
after
I'm
that.
sure. Can you imagine? From what I understand, the seed of it was that a young, inexperienced British commander told the soldiers to use pig grease on their rifles, and the Muslims kind of flipped out, you know?
Yes.
And then everybody else was like, this is the time, here we go!
Yeah. No, and the Hindus were told it was made of beef.
Oh,
Oh.
But imagine coming here in 1700 and this land was empty, and you establish a British colony here just for white people.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Amazing. And how far they come from the coast?
yeah, right, that's true. Well, it started, with the British East India Company, right?
This
And
is Bombay, Calcutta, and then Lucknow's in the middle, a land of middle of nowhere.
whole thing,
this place
yeah.
must have been gold for them.
every principality seemed to kind of cave at some point.
They
Wow.
must have only come up here up the river Gomti, right?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Right there. So they sailed upriver
Right.
from the
With the
coast.
giant ass cannons. Pretty incredible. Guess they weren't going to ship you home back then, right? You'd rot on the boat.
Yeah, they were not shipping you home.
They ended the East India Company in 1857, and then they formed the British Raj government.
Yeah, so the government said, hey, you got a good thing going on there, we're going to take it. Always, right?
From company to crown rule. The new system
They clamped down.
began in 1857, lasted till India's independence in 1947. Never thought of that. I mean, in perspective, never put it in perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
After this thing burnt down, they clamped down.
We kicked them out in 1776.
Market,
Beautiful. Still has the color.
market
Wow.
lasts forever. That's another Irish grey, huh?
Yeah.
So they never reclaimed this area back or what? The British.
Of course, they had full control.
Sure.
But after it was destroyed, they could not live here.
They couldn't live here, but they still controlled everything.
There was some general to the west of here that finally, when they got the word out, they had to stop that war and come and help these guys, you know?
Reinforcements.
Yeah.
But how they must have marched through those jungles.
Well, you know, sometimes when we're in the
And
woods
these,
by
these
us,
were jungles too. This was a
thick.
thick
Yeah.
jungle here with tigers and elephants right here on this land.
Yeah. Amazing.
Right? And they came here and cleared the city.
That's why half of them died, you know, they got off the ship and, you know, by noon, half of them were dead.
Yeah.
Look at all the pock marks.
Yeah. So what the soldiers did, they turned their weapons on the British. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
So they didn't bring any of their own. They just turned them around and fired on the British.
Right. As soon as, too, I think some of the regiments, the Indian regiments, found out, they're like, fuck it, we're going for it. Man, oh man, would not want to get hit with one of those cannonballs. I guess this is the high ground, too, right? So,
Safe from flooding.
and easy to defend.
Picture, we saw 3 stories.
Yeah.
You can see the tree from here.
I think we see one.
Should we stay to watch this guy fall off the ladder?
Look how he's improvised.
Holy cow. He has one strap to the other.
One article says the museums can steal, right?
Yeah,
And somebody else takes them away, then
That's
you go to
international
jail.
crime,
Then
yeah.
you go to jail.
All right, well, that's about it from the British Residency. I hope you enjoyed this little walk around and immersing yourself in the history. I know I certainly did. So now let's visit Lucknow and see what other messes we can get ourselves into.